If you are looking for something fun to do in Chattanooga over the next several weeks, you are in luck because there is no shortage of entertaining ideas as the holiday season approaches. And Sean Phipps's job, lucky guy, is to highlight those fun things for the Chattanooga Tourism Company, then bring them to us here on the show. So he's back this morning.
I wish that was all of my job, right? I wish that was the...
Oh, is it not?
No, my job is... This is the fun, literally the most fun part of my job.
It's like the reporters in news who spend 8 hours a day covering a story that gets a minute and a half of airtime,
Right.
and people say to them, so what else do you do all day?
No, I do love my job. I get to evangelize and proselytize about Chattanooga, and apparently I can't talk this morning.
That's
so
okay,
that's
you
good
clear
too.
your throat and I'll say something. So I have had more fun talking to people about the Pinball Museum.
Really? Did they see that?
Well, I saw that because you came here,
good.
and I've had more fun because I didn't know about that one.
Right.
I don't know why, because now every time I go downtown, I see it.
That's one of my favorite things to do is to just show you a little bit of something that maybe you didn't know about Chattanooga, even if you've lived here.
Right.
And especially if you're visiting, you want to go to where the locals go.
Okay, so I think that today's topic is a true local.
This is an unbelievable place that many of us pass and walk by every day, and we don't even know or even think about going in there, but I think you should.
Okay, so before we run it, it's the Houston Museum, which is tucked away in the Bluffview Art District area.
Right.
And I've done a lot with them over the years. So
Good.
I'm going to be interested to get your take on this to see whether your focus is on the unbelievable collection that is there or on Anna herself.
Might be a little both.
Okay, here, take a look.
Are you sure you want me to hold this? It's $30,000. Hi, one of the most expensive bowls in the Houston Museum collection is this 1800s wedge.
Welcome to the CHA Spotlight. This CHA Spotlight features one of Chattanooga's historical treasures, the Houston Museum of Decorative Art.
This museum is unique because it's just as much about the content of the museum as it is the person who it's named after. Her name was Anna Safley Houston, and she was a unique individual. She collected tons of glassware, toys throughout the late 1800s, and by the time the Great Depression hit in 1929, she lost everything and had to move into a barn in Eastridge with her collection, where she died in 1951.
The museum first opened in 1961, and they've been in this building since 1966 in the Bluffview Art District, right across from the Hunter Museum.
After her death, over 100 community members came together and helped ensure that her will would be executed and that the 20,000 plus pieces in her collection would live for years to come.
This is the CHA Spotlight, only at visitchattanooga.com.
Don't break
So I
a bowl.
have to ask
Don't-
you,
don't let me hold it.
obviously that was a prop, but did
Yeah.
you catch yourself sucking in as you walked through that thing? I mean, because they had tables in the middle that
I've
were
known
set
about
all up. And
I've known about the Houston Museum for a long time, and it's one of those places where like I'm too clumsy.
Yeah, I'm not
too
going there.
clumsy to go in this building. But when I walked in there, I immediately, all of that went away, and I thought I could bring a stroller in here. Like, this is a place where you can actually walk around. Now, I wouldn't let him out. I wouldn't let my 3-year-old run around in there.
Right.
But every little bit of every piece that she collected over the years has a story.
Mm-hmm.
The story of Anna herself is fascinating.
Okay, so here's what I remember, and some of this becomes almost like folklore.
It's folklore,
legend,
it's legend.
But it's truly documented. So
Mm-hmm.
she had, I think this is the right quote, 8 husbands that we know of.
Right.
I mean, she could have been married, and I can't remember if all of them she divorced or if some of them died. Do you remember?
Yeah, I don't know anything. We were like the husbands is one of the things that they're like, hey, don't talk about the husbands.
It's almost
So
like arsenic
here
and
we-
old lace or something.
The fact that she had to move to a barn and she became very protective of her collection. People would go to see her.
And she'd come
in
out
the
with a
50s.
shotgun.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've heard all sorts of
It's
things about this
crazy.
woman. She is on the Ghost Tour. If you go on one of the ghost
really?
tour, her story and legend is on the ghost tour. She's become that so much a part of the fabric of Chattanooga.
Well, and you have to think that this was, okay, so the museum opened in 61?
Yeah, I think so. Her collection, I think she died in the 50s, and her collection went through that whole story of where they wanted the city to have it, right? And the city was like, we don't want your collection, lady. Well, and then the
Right.
100 community members came in and said, actually, this
We
isn't
kinda
important.
do.
She knew what she was doing, even
Yeah.
though she's a little, she
Right.
knew what she was doing.
And so we have to go, but she was relatively old when she died, I think. So
Yeah, she
the
lived a long
bulk of
time.
her life was lived at a time where women weren't independent like that, really.
True pioneer.
Crazy. Okay, so it's the Houston Museum. All of it you'll find simply by going to visitchattanooga.com. And I hope that you don't break anything in your own kitchen
I
today.
hope I don't either.